Hello, hello. May God bless you and may prosper you this day. My name is Rick and I am the cryptocurrency Watchman. Okay, we're going to take a look at an ICO that is going to be launching in 15 days, 18 hours, 5 minutes, and 12 seconds. Um, this one, this one has some good potential. They have a pretty unique idea, and it's different from anything else that I've seen. I've been looking at a lot of the ICOs, and there's a lot of launchings, having to do with different platforms, having to do with, buying and selling of goods, kind of competing with eBay and with Amazon. There's a lot of these coins that are launching, and as far as who's going to come out on top is, going to be anyone's guess. And a lot of these, they all seem to have the same idea, and they're all trying to jump on board. But every once in a while, you come across these companies that are doing something different, that are trying to break away from the norm and trying to, obviously make a profit, which is, that's capitalism, that's the way it should be, but also to make a difference and to provide a service that nobody else is providing. And this is one of those companies. So let's take a look at who they are. Okay, here's the mission statement. FoodCoin ecosystem is a blockchain ecosystem architecturally designed to create a global marketplace of food and agricultural products based on our experience with the active 1,000 eco farms platform. FoodCoin ecosystem will be based on the Ethereum technology. We believe that a wide selection of FoodCoin ecosystem component tools will be used by farmers, agricultural equipment manufacturers, farm product processors, food manufacturers, cafes and restaurants, food delivery services, and other consumers and producers of food and related products to reduce transaction costs, achieve greater efficiency, and optimize food system. And then, of course, they go through the smart wallet ID services and everything else, which a lot of these ICOs are these new coins coming out have anyway. Okay, they explain what they mean by 1,000 eco farms. 1,000 eco farms is a global business to consumer and business to business online marketplace for natural food. The platform provides marketing, order, and payment processing services for hundreds of small farmers and food producers, as well as extensive set of additional functions for individual farmers, food buying clubs, and co-ops. Consumers and small businesses around the world are using the platform to connect directly with growers and producers and to produce fresh, natural food. 600 sellers accounts in U.S. and Russia. It's like 50-50. 1,500 plus individual products listed, 4,000 registered users. They show the generated revenue, and they actually have a little video with it, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay, there's a few things I wanted to point out here that I thought was pretty cool. It says here, the FoodCoin Big Data and AI, the data collected and dynamically processed through FoodCoin ecosystems will form the basis for AI analysis, allowing real-time dynamic communication to system participants and third parties of information on price and availability changes for large categories of goods linked to climate changes, geographical locations, seasonality. In addition, the analysis of the aggregate information will assist with the prediction of the prices for the forthcoming harvest, allowing producers, farmers, and business consumers to plan for the future. So they predict how big a harvest is going to be, what the price is believed is going to be when it comes out, what you'll be able to buy it at, especially if you're buying maybe in large quantities, probably either large quantities or maybe in smaller quantities, even though in smaller quantities you're probably going to be dealing with like a retail price. But if you are somebody who buys food in large quantities, whether it be some kind of food service or a restaurant or whatever it may be, you may be trying to help people overseas, maybe feed the hungry, whatever it may be. This is a good way for you to calculate what the harvest is coming. And the thing is, we're not just talking about the big farmers. A lot of this is focusing on the little guy, on the small guy, because when you go into the store and you see something and it says organic, non-GMO, which a lot of people are trying to get away from, but because of the prices, it's almost impossible not to to stay away from the GMOs and and all the pesticides and all the junk that they put into our food these days, especially from Monsanto. Um, so this this is helping the little guy, the little farmer that wants to sell a product, that is growing his stuff naturally, doesn't put all the chemicals, it's non-GMO, but is having to compete with the big food chains and the big food producers, and so he gets very little profit for what he does, and for him to make profit, he has to sell it for this outrageous price, which of course drives the cost up, on the retail market. Well, they're trying to cut all that out to go straight from the farmer to the consumer, where you buy their produce, obviously with using FoodCoin, like all the companies do. They make you use their coin, and but you can literally buy the products from the farmer all across the world. This is not just limit, if you want to stick just to local farming, you can do that. But if you want to buy something exotic that is, non-GMO, that is grown, overseas or something like that, this helps you to access that without having to go through all the middlemen and going through all the channels and everything else, and which just costs you a fortune. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then it says here, FoodCoin for social projects. Using FoodCoin as a complementary social currency in closed communities encourages the demand for locally produced goods and services, thus stimulating the local economic activity. Now, if you're like me, I try to stay local if it's possible, if I'm going to buy anything, whether it's food, tires for my car. When I went to go get tires for my car, I could have gone further down, further away from where I was, and I actually saved money on my tires, but I chose to buy my tires locally, from the guy down the street. I like to deal with the mom and pop shops when I can, the small businesses. This is what grows a community. And I try my best not to go to Walmart and things like that. If I can buy it somewhere else, I don't mind paying a little bit more for something from the mom and pop shops, because I want to see them succeed. I want to see them thrive. That's how a community grows. And and there's another point here. It says FoodCoin for nonprofits. FoodCoin cryptocurrency can be used as a mechanism to quickly and easily provide financial assistance to people suffering from hunger, farmers who find themselves in difficult situations, or charitable organizations that support social and environmental missions around the world. With this coin, you can with the service they provide, you can buy food in one part of the world, and you can pay for it yourself and have it sent to another part. Like if you're trying to feed starving people in Africa and you're buying food from somewhere in Europe, or if you're buying it from the United States, and you can set the whole thing up, and you're saving tons of money because you're not going through all the channels, all the middlemen, the retail prices and everything else. You can do everything right here on the site. I think it's a really cool concept they have here. Okay, they have a special offer for pre-sale participants. I want to throw that out there in case you're interested in the coin. There's a 1.35 multiplier if you buy, pre-sale. It looks like the exchange rate is one food coin is equal to 0.01 Ethereum, and at the current rate of Ethereum right now, that's $2.66. That seems to me a little high launching right out of the gate. Of course, some of these coins do come out, do come out pretty high, but these guys are already up and running. This is an existing company. It's not just somebody that's just coming out of the gate. And I know that a lot of times, when somebody's up and going and they've got some good momentum and already showing profit and everything, it makes sense for them to come out at a little higher price. Okay, we're going to take a look at the team. We have Mark Medin, co-founder of 1000 Eco Farms. Mark has more than 25 years of professional experience in IT, administrative consulting, with a particular focus on web-based e-commerce and enterprise projects. Mark's customers range from U.S. federal agencies to large research institutions such as Johns Hopkins University to internet startups and small businesses. Then there's Gregory Arzumanian. He's actually Russian. He lives in Moscow. Co-founder of 1000 Eco Farms, serial entrepreneur, Gregory is past owner of several businesses focused on farm-to-table modeling research and manufacturing hydroponic and aquaponic systems, expert in equipment needed for hydroponic forage and microgreens growing. Gregory has long established relationships with some of the largest agricultural research institutions in Russian Federation. These two guys, they focus a lot on natural grown foods. It says right here, farm to table model researching, so that you're not getting the Monsanto GMO, laced with poison food that they try to shove on your table. Um, those are the two co-founders. And then the last person here, this also has a lot to do with the non-GMO stuff. Liz Retzig has spent nearly a decade working on food systems from every angle: retail, policy, farmer support, and everything in between. In 2007, Liz founded her buying club business, which serves the DC region. In 2013, Liz launched her website and consulting business, Nourishing Liberty. Most importantly, Liz is the mother of 5 children, raising the next generation of GMO-free foods and healthy portion of food awareness. Okay, I think I can't find a lot of news on these guys. Not too many articles on them yet. You think that being so close to the ICO launch, we would see more information on them, but there's so many ICOs launching right now. It's really impossible to really get a whole lot of news on everybody. But there is a blog here, and apparently this came straight from FoodCoin. Just a little additional information. It says, since the blockchain technologies went available 2 years ago, thanks to Ethereum, many noteworthy and unsuccessful blockchain projects have been launched. Ethereum is a platform with plenty of possibilities and a big potential, and no surprise that many startups and entrepreneurs decide to focus it to gain advantage. However, it is much more interesting and useful to look for new usage of cryptocurrencies rather than gaining easy profit from speculation. For this reason, FoodCoin is intended to solve real problems of people. The first and most essential use is a shortage of healthy and quality food, the most important resource in our life. Modern economy has come to a situation when the vast majority of retailers have to fill their shelves with inedible products, which become so in order to maintain visual attractiveness after long delivery trips. The products labeled as eco and natural become synonyms of unreasonably expensive, but still not being different from products made by local producers and farmers who go to rack and ruin because they cannot compete with large producers and agriculture corporations. The next goal with FoodCoin is going to reach the revival of local economy. Farmers and producers are forced to compete with agriculture corporations and get paid peanuts for their hard work. With the access to global marketplace, they will get opportunities to receive an additional demand and decent reward. FoodCoin will serve an additional alternative social currency to support agricultural systems and ensure local food and economic safety, thus reviving local small-scale food producers, pushing the local economies to development. Third and equal essential uses of FoodCoin is the charity. Using blockchain technology will simplify the addressed charity in the global market and make these activities transparent. At the FoodCoin ecosystem, everything adapts to the need of the ordinary person, and all the newest and safe blockchain technologies, such as smart contract library, smart wallet, user identification, product quality checking, will be available in a simple and intuitive interface. Save money on transaction expenses. So, these guys are already up and running. I think they've got a unique concept, especially with the coin. I think that we're going to see some big things out of this. I'm not recommending that you jump into this ICO. I'm not making any recommendation on this one. Myself, I'm going to wait and see what other news we get over the next week or two. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one because these guys have a great, unique concept here, guys. So consider this one and make up your own mind. Thank you guys. I'm out of time. Please subscribe and be blessed.